Hey, welcome. This is the first episode of I don't know what I'm gonna call this, so we're just gonna, look at the title card. It'll fill it out. I'll keep this intro brief, but in short, here's 5 itch.io games I played and wanted to talk about, for better or worse. Maybe we'll do a bonus game sometimes. Maybe we won't. We'll figure it out. Oh, links to every game mentioned are down below if you want to check them out for yourselves. In this episode, we're going to be going in order of enjoyment, worst to best. Oh, one last thing. I tried to give every game here at least an hour, or until I finished it. So, whichever came first. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's go. Number 1, Kiwi 64, or should I say number 5. Kiwi 64 is a weird game, but it's a good place to start, I guess, for this series and my writing. Who knows? I've never really been a person who sat down and played a Banjo-Kazooie game, or really anything from the Nintendo 64 days, aside from, Zelda and stuff like that. So this one just completely missed for me. It felt clunky, kind of arbitrarily tacked on, if that makes sense. Banjo-Kazooie to me screams aesthetic and refinement in a way that it did uniquely to it. This didn't do that. It was just kind of oh, here's a low poly game, and we'll just take the stapler and slamp on Banjo-Kazooie. I wouldn't recommend playing this one, but if you guys have played Banjo-Kazooie and, feel like maybe I'm completely wrong and this is actually really good, go play it and let me know, because honestly, maybe it's just the fact that I haven't played a Banjo-Kazooie game. Who knows? Number 2, Steam Marines 2. Steam Marines 2 is the only game you'll have to pay for on here, and as such, I'm going to be treating it more like a product, and in that regard, it completely missed. And it's mostly due to its polish being an issue. In my case, I managed to get this one from one of the itch.io mass bundles a while back. I'll put it on the screen, I don't remember which. But as a standalone product, it's really rough. Just for my initial time with it, there's no way in hell it's going for $25. No way. It's an early access game, so keep that in mind, but they're already charging $25 for it, you know what I mean? It's just not okay. And when I say polish, I'm referring to UI, menus, just general aesthetic polish. It all feels like a very rough, put-together Unity game that doesn't actually seem again, it's not a $25 passion project, it's something they just kind of put out. And it has a lot of bugs, a lot of bugs. In my experience, so how this game works, you have your characters, your 4 dudes of different classes, and each class has a special effect when they open a door. It's turn-based XCOM style, so you're going to want to be opening a door pretty much all the time with specific classes to get bonuses like extra ammo or extra turns. Now, normally, in games like this, you could just click the door to move there and interact with the door. In this game, you have to click the tile before it, next to it, then the door, and then you can go through, do whatever. And that doesn't sound like a big thing, but it's clunky in a way that it's hard to describe in a visual sense. It also happened that sometimes when I'd get next to the door and click it, it just wouldn't register. It would take 10, 15 clicks to actually open the door, and I could open the door, obviously. So there's just stuff like that where it really needs that polish to just fix some of this stuff, this QOL stuff. And then there's more game-breaking stuff. So the game-breaking stuff, I discovered late into my playthrough that... So how the combat system works, you have a limited amount of attacks, and with these attacks you can, shoot a monster. Well, if on your last attack, you happen to mash the attack button, I've discovered that you can attack indefinitely and instantly kill anything you're up against. That's pretty game-breaking. That's bad. So for example, let's say I have a damage output of 10 with the shotgun, and I only have 3 shots, so 30. Well, now it just goes up to as much as I could practically mash, 150. It's just absurd. That's a $25 game. You shouldn't have bugs like that. That's a basic thing, and I just discovered this in playing an hour of it. If I were to sit down for maybe 6 hours and do a QOL pass and bug hunting pass, this is not worth that. So, in its current state, I personally wouldn't recommend you look at this one. Maybe keep your eye on it, see if it gets any better, but I have my doubts. Who knows? Dev, if you ever see this, surprise me. It might be a bit old, just because I had the itch.io version. It has a Steam version. Take a look at the screen now. So, maybe it's just my version. I'll give them that. But, anyway, next game. Game number 3. Overlapped. Overlapped is where we see a sharp incline in my enjoyment, being a small 30-ish level puzzle game. So the idea is that you push and pull colors. There's like red and teal. And within these colors, there's different effects. And by push and pull, I mean you can look at any one of the 6 faces in the cube room, and using that, you can push or pull the color to overtake the room and change geometry and stuff. It sounds way complicated, way more complicated than it actually is. It's actually wonderfully intuitive. They have some wonderful levels where you're plopped into a room and you have to figure stuff out, and it just comes to you instantly because of how they've designed the levels. It's actually really good. Aside from cube jank, hopefully I have footage of cube jank, it's a breath of fresh air for me. I don't play a lot of puzzle games. I'm not a puzzle game guy, but I really like this. I genuinely think that if they were to push out an expansion, or maybe I don't know, flesh out more levels, give it some more gimmicks, maybe up the resolution, because it starts to wear on you after a little bit, but maybe more colors. Maybe some more colors might help it, but I'd play more of this. This one gets a solid recommendation from me. Go check it out. Go give it a shot. Worst comes to worst, you don't like it. Anyway, next up, number 4, the Ziam gallery. Ziam? Ziam? Anyway, I know this is stretching the concept of a game, but we'll pretend this isn't the case because I like these types of experiences. I am a big sucker for art games, for virtual art games, because I feel you can do crazy shit in the medium that you couldn't normally do in art galleries. Plus, most of them are free experiences and they're usually very interesting depending on the content, and this one is no exception. It's a small but interesting selection of ideas from different artists. I don't know too much about the background, so bear with me. But it's absolutely wonderful how it's created. I liked it. My only issue is that I had to turn the volume down because it was loud as hell, but that's a lot of these games. I can forgive that. I had a personal favorite, if you guys are curious, and you do check this out. I like that blue town. I'm gonna have to go check the name of it right there. But just a wonderful experience with that one personally. Just a side note, I love the use of colors and the exaggerated elements, like you're picturing this artist. This artist is recreating this from memory, I want to believe, and it comes out in the exaggeration, and I think that's amazing. So yeah, go check it out. I won't spoil everything here. Also, look at him, Wobble Rock. There he is. But I'm probably going to do art games. I'm going to put some on here when I find them, things that interest me. But at least they won't be everything. So just, I guess, series pathfinding, that's going to be on here sometimes too. Lastly, on to number 5, my favorite pick for this week, month, year, whatever, however interval we do this, is Racine? I don't know how to pronounce words. I'm a dummy, so, but it's my top pick. I'm also not a fan of card battlers, but this one, I really like the idea. So what they did is they took an active battle system and crammed it into one of these card battlers. So it's a very stripped down demo. They've openly say that it's a very work in progress thing, but the idea is sound enough that I really want to play more of it. So the idea is that while you're doing these card battlings and permanently buffing yourself up roguelike style with these cards, you can send them out at strategic times to block and negate damage. So that sounds simple enough. And on paper, if that was the whole game, that would be boring as hell. Because it's a demo, I'm going to say imagine all the crazy shit they can do with that. Maybe combo attacks you use with the cards, maybe some funny random cards that completely fuck with the battle system. Maybe cards that swap positions of enemies or slow down their attacks so you can actually get better hits in. There's the potential there. And that's what made this my favorite game of the week, is that there's so much potential in the idea, executed well enough for me to say, I'm excited for this. These are the types of games I love to see on Itch.io. Oh, and the art. I fucking love the art. Just, it's a bit sparse in certain areas, I'll admit. But I just love the backgrounds. Like, okay, really quick. Future me, I'm gonna leave this in. Look at the little train. You see that little train, viewer? That's a mark of quality to me. That's a mark that they gave a shit enough to animate the little train, the cute little train. And I am 100% on board the cute little train. It's fucking amazing. I love it. Go play this. Go follow this, and hopefully they go absolutely balls to the wall with it and make it fucking amazing. So, that was a very awkward first video. Very rough. I could probably do with passing more on the script. Most of this is improv, by the way, if it's not obvious enough. But hopefully we can do more of this. I've always said in my streams and everything that I wanted to make content, and my biggest struggle was getting over my own fear of making bad things, and hopefully this isn't that bad. I'm just going to put it out there. If it's bad, we'll work with it. I'll get feedback from you guys, from whoever views this, and we'll do it. We're going to do it. It's going to be great. So, again, I know it's a bit rough, it's a bit awkward, but we'll get through it. Feel free to leave comments, suggestions, maybe link me games, tell me how much you hate me, whatever. Do whatever. It's fine. Comment. Just comment. Oh, and again, links for everything mentioned are down below if you want to check them out. Check out rascine. It's really fucking good. Besides, honestly, I'm not like a popular guy, but I know a lot of people would like... The devs would like more traffic. I know that's always good, so go check them out. Anyway, see you next time. I've been Archer, and remember, don't die. That kills you. Okay, bye.